Hey there, curious minds. Welcome back to the channel where your brain gets smarter just by watching. Today, we're diving deep, and I mean really deep, into one of the most powerful, mysterious, and honestly underrated organs in the human body. The brain. It's your built-in supercomputer, your memory vault, your emotion engine, and your creative canvas, all rolled into a squishy 3-pound blob sitting inside your skull. And while it runs your entire life, scientists are still discovering new things about it every day. From storing more data than the internet to being able to physically rewire itself, these 10 mind-blowing facts will leave you amazed. And probably make you treat your brain a little better. So, let's jump right into it. Let's start big. Really big. Your brain contains about 86 billion neurons. And each one of those can form up to 10,000 connections with other neurons. That adds up to over 100 trillion synapses. To put that in perspective, the Milky Way galaxy has about 100 to 400 billion stars. So your brain? It's packing more connections than the number of stars in the night sky. These connections form the network that makes you, well, you. They're what allow you to learn, remember your first pet's name, play the piano, cry at Pixar movies, and maybe even dream up the next big idea. And what's even wilder, it does all this on about 20 watts of power. That's less than a dim light bulb. Backed by science, Human Connectome Project confirms this mind-boggling connectivity. Fact number 2, your brain can rewire itself. Imagine if your computer could fix itself when it breaks. That's kind of what your brain can do, thanks to neuroplasticity. The brain's ability to reorganize and form new connections. Break a habit? Learn a new language at 60? Recover from a brain injury? Your brain is literally remodeling itself behind the scenes. It's not just recovery, though. Every time you practice something like juggling or learning a dance on TikTok, you're strengthening those pathways. New hobbies? Brain gains. So no, that old saying, you can't teach an old dog new tricks? Complete myth. Dogs and humans alike are learning machines. Backed by science, stroke rehab studies show brain rewiring after damage. Fact number 3, your brain works faster than a supercomputer. Your brain is a multitasking beast. It processes about 1 million billion operations per second. That's faster than even the most powerful supercomputers on the planet. We're talking real-time image processing, decision-making, emotional reactions, motor coordination, all happening simultaneously, constantly. And it still has time to overthink that one awkward thing you said 3 years ago. And yet, it only uses about 20 watts of power. Compare that to massive servers that need cooling towers and entire buildings to run. Your brain? No fan, no plug, no problem. Backed by science, IBM's Watson versus Blue Brain comparisons. Fact number 4, you use 100% of your brain, not just 10%. Okay, let's squash a big myth right here. You do not only use 10% of your brain, that's Hollywood nonsense. Brain scans show activity in nearly every part of the brain. Even when you're doing something simple like watching this video or daydreaming, each part of the brain has a job. Vision, movement, language, emotions, memory, even self-reflection. And they're all talking to each other constantly. So if someone tells you you're only using 10%, politely tell them they're using 100% to spread a myth. Backed by science, fMRI scans from the Mayo Clinic show widespread activity. Fact number 5, the brain feels no pain. Ever wonder how people can stay awake during brain surgery? That's because the brain itself has no pain receptors. It processes pain from the rest of your body, but it doesn't feel any itself. So doctors can poke around in there very carefully while you're chatting with them about your favorite pizza topping. Wild, right? Backed by science, neurosurgical procedures, and pain receptor studies. We dive deeper to fact number 6. Memories aren't stored in one place. Think of your memories like a jigsaw puzzle, but in 4D. Your brain doesn't store memories in one neat drawer. Instead, it spreads them across multiple regions. The visual part of a memory? That's in your occipital lobe. The emotion tied to it? That's your amygdala. The context and detail? That's your hippocampus at work. That's why a smell, a song, or even a taste can suddenly bring you back to a memory you hadn't thought of in years. It's like a full-body time machine, backed by science. Distributed storage research from Neuroscience journals. On fact number 7, the brain shrinks without sleep. Think skipping sleep just makes you tired? Think again. Sleep deprivation literally shrinks your brain. Sleep is when your brain takes out the trash, clearing out toxins, storing memories, and balancing your emotions. No sleep? Your brain gets sluggish, foggy, and actually starts to shrink in volume over time. That's long-term damage we're talking about. So yeah, maybe it's time to stop scrolling at 2 a.m. Backed by science, NIH studies, and sleep lab research. As we progressing to fact number 8, do you know that the brain is mostly water? Here's one you probably didn't expect. Your brain is about 75% water. Hydration is crucial for brain function. Even just a 2% drop in hydration can affect your concentration, memory, and mood. So the next time you're feeling off, maybe drink water before blaming your zodiac sign. Backed by science. Journal of Nutrition Studies on Hydration plus Cognition. Fact number 9. The brain can generate electricity. Your brain produces about 20 watts of electrical energy. That's enough to light up a small bulb. These tiny electrical pulses are how neurons communicate, and they happen hundreds of times per second. You are quite literally electric. Now that's a power move. Backed by science, EEG studies, and bioelectric brain research. Fact number 10. Your brain keeps evolving, even as you age. Last but definitely not least, your brain isn't done growing after childhood. It keeps evolving, adapting, and learning your entire life. Lifelong learning, staying curious, playing, creating, all of this helps keep your brain sharp, even into your 90s. In fact, studies show older adults who stay mentally active have higher cognitive function and lower risk of neurodegenerative disease. So yes, reading a book a week or learning guitar at 70, that's neuroscience approved, backed by science. Studies from Harvard, Stanford, and the Aging Brain Institute. More fact about the brain. Your brain can auto-correct visual input. Have you ever seen one of those weird optical illusions where letters are jumbled, but you can still read the sentence perfectly? That's your brain using prior knowledge and context to auto-correct what your eyes see. This brain power is so advanced it often processes visuals faster than your eyes can fully capture them, filling in the blanks to keep your world seamless and understandable. Backed by science, visual cognition studies from MIT and the Journal of Neuroscience. And brainwaves sync. During social connection happens when people deeply connect through music, conversation, or eye contact, their brainwaves begin to synchronize. Connection is quite literally electric. Backed by science, studies on neural synchrony from Princeton and UC Berkeley. More fact about the brain. Fact, laughing uses multiple brain regions. When you laugh, your brain lights up in several areas, and including those that control movement, speech, and emotion. Laughter really is powerful medicine. Backed by science, fMRI studies on laughter from Stanford and the Mayo Clinic. And gut bacteria affects brain health as well. Your brain and gut are closely linked through the gut-brain axis. Healthy gut bacteria can influence your mood, memory, and even reduce anxiety and depression. Backed by science, research from Johns Hopkins and the American Psychological Association. The brain also produces new cells into adulthood. For decades, scientists thought adults couldn't grow new brain cells. Now we know that neurogenesis, especially in the hippocampus, continues well into adulthood. Backed by science, research on adult neurogenesis from Stanford and the Salk Institute. let's talk about how emotions change brain structure. Long-term stress, trauma, or even joy can physically alter the brain. Chronic stress shrinks the hippocampus, while love and compassion grow gray matter. Backed by science, Harvard Neuroscience studies on emotional neuroplasticity. More fact about the brain. Fact: brain cells can live over 100 years. Unlike most cells, many of your brain's neurons can last your entire life. Over 100 years if you live that long. They're some of the most durable cells in the body. Backed by science. Cell longevity research from Harvard Medical School. Your brain can also predict the future. Your brain is constantly predicting what's going to happen next. That's how you can catch a ball or finish someone's sentence. It uses prior knowledge and patterns to simulate the future. Backed by science. Predictive coding theories and neuroscience papers from the University College London. Let us remind ourselves that the brain starts slowing down at age 24. Studies show that cognitive processing speed starts to decline as early as 24. But don't panic. Wisdom, strategy, and decision-making keep improving well into middle age. Backed by science. Simon Fraser University's cognitive aging studies, and multitasking is a myth. Think you're a great multitasker? Hate to break it to you, but your brain can't truly multitask. Instead, it switches rapidly between tasks, reducing efficiency and increasing errors. Backed by science, research from Stanford University's Attention Lab. As we continue on, more fact about the brain fact. The brain has its own immune system. The brain isn't defenseless. It has its own immune cells called microglia. These tiny warriors constantly patrol the brain, removing waste, fighting infection, and even shaping neural pathways during development and healing. Backed by science. Studies published in Nature Neuroscience and research by the NIH. And did you know that the brain activity can continue after death? In some rare cases, electrical activity in the brain has been recorded minutes after clinical death. These final bursts, sometimes called death waves, are being studied to understand consciousness and near-death experiences. Backed by science. Research from the University of Western Ontario and published studies in Frontiers in Aging Neuroscience. And it's amazing how music can rewire the brain. Whether you play or just listen, music reshapes the brain. It enhances memory, reduces pain, and even helps stroke patients recover language. Playing an instrument activates both hemispheres, strengthening connections between them. Backed by science, Harvard Health and Cognitive Neuroscience journals. Your brain deletes. Information to focus. The brain isn't just a storage device, it's a curator. It actively prunes and deletes less useful information so you can focus on what matters. This synaptic pruning happens mostly during sleep and childhood development. Backed by science. Neuroscience papers from the University of Wisconsin-Madison and the Sleep Research Society. And mirror neurons help you feel empathy. When you see someone smile and you smile back, thank your mirror neurons. These special brain cells mimic what others feel or do, allowing us to empathize and learn by imitation. They're the foundation of social bonding and compassion. Backed by science. Neuroscience findings from Parma University and research in Nature reviews neuroscience. Meditation physically changes the brain. Regular meditation thickens the prefrontal cortex, the area responsible for focus and decision-making. It also reduces the size of the amygdala, which controls stress and fear. In just 8 weeks, meditation can visibly change your brain. Backed by science. Harvard University MRI studies on meditation and neuroplasticity. Final conclusion, mind-blowing facts about the human brain. And that's a wrap on some of the most mind-blowing facts about the human brain. The command center of your entire existence. We've uncovered a universe within, a 3-pound organ that can imagine galaxies, create art, feel love, solve puzzles, and rewire itself after trauma. It stores memories like a time machine, fires off more signals than all the phones on Earth, and runs on less energy than a light bulb. But perhaps the most astonishing fact of all, your brain is still changing. Every thought, every emotion, every experience shapes it. Right now, even as you listen. That means you're never stuck, never done growing. You're literally building a better version of yourself with each new moment. So, what will you do with your brain's incredible power? Learn more. Challenge it. Rest it. Protect it. Because this mysterious mass of neurons isn't just part of you, it is you. If your mind is as blown as mine, go ahead and smash that like button, subscribe for more wild science, and share this with someone who loves a good brain-tingling fact. Got a favorite? Drop it in the comments. Or better yet, tell us what your brain is curious about next. And hey, if you found this video fascinating, support us by subscribing to Viral Flow Media TV. We're on a mission to bring you the most educative, inspiring, and entertaining science content every single week. Your support helps keep these ideas flowing and our brains buzzing with curiosity. Until then, stay curious and keep thinking big.